Hello and welcome. It's Monday. I'm Tamara Zoner, here to remind you how much you matter. Today, let's talk about what to do when we're feeling down, especially if we can't really identify a reason for it. Sometimes when we're feeling that contracted phase and we don't know why, it makes it even worse, and we start to tell ourselves things like, we start to ask ourselves things like, what's wrong with me? Which does not support us in any way. So the first thing when you are remembering that you matter, even when you're feeling your worst, to ask yourself is, what am I thinking? Check in with your thoughts. Where are they taking you? What are they about? What's the quality? Are you being a big bully to yourself, or are you showing yourself some compassion? Most likely, if you're feeling awful, that bully might show up a little bit. It's just our natural tendency when we're contracting to contract even further, even further. And so first, check your thoughts and see how they're supporting you. And then start to look at how you've been treating yourself overall over the course of the past few days or even the week. What's been going on in your life? Have you been getting enough sleep? Have you been eating well? Have you been drinking alcohol or other harmful beverages a lot more than usual? So kind of check in with all your behaviors and weigh whether they've been supporting you or bringing you down. Look at what's going on in your life. Did you get news about someone you love that made you feel really sad? Did you have a disappointment at work? What's going on for you? This is that awareness that I'm always talking about. When we feel down, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, we want to let ourselves have our experience with love and compassion, and then also pay attention to what's going on in your external experience, and as well the way that you're taking care of your body or not. Have you exercised lately? So kind of go through this mental checklist of perhaps all of the areas of happiness. If you don't recall them because it's been so long since I talked about the 7 main areas of happiness, let's go through them, because this is the checklist that you could take yourself through when you're feeling uncharacteristically down, or you just don't know why, and you keep asking yourself, what's wrong with me? Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you, and that question can definitely be harmful. So maybe turn it around with, hey, what am I experiencing right now? And then look at these 7 main areas of happiness. So first of all, the foundation is taking responsibility for your happiness. So where are you giving your power away? Where are you giving other people the responsibility for your happiness? And where could you then bring it back into you and become more empowered in your thoughts and actions? How can you take a little bit more responsibility for your own happiness instead of expecting others to do it for you? The second area is the pillar of the mind, and this one is a biggie. Our thoughts influence us on a deep, deep level, and with our negativity bias, our thoughts aren't always, and maybe not even usually, supporting us. So we have 60,000 thoughts a day on average, give or take a few, and the majority of those are negative, and the majority of those negative thoughts are repeated from the day before and the day before that. So we're constantly barraging ourselves with negativity. So you want to check in with the quality of your thoughts and start to ask yourself how you might turn those thoughts around to be more supportive than harmful, to start to lean into what's going right for you instead of focusing solely on what's going wrong. Remember, what you put your attention on grows stronger in your life. So put your attention on the good stuff, what's going well for you, what you're good at, what you feel good about. Especially important when you're focusing on the not so good stuff. Take some time, you might even journal, or you might simply do some gratitude practices, and a little self-forgiveness never hurts. Then you want to tune in to your heart. Where's your heart these days? Are you feeling resentful, disconnected, closed? Could you take some time to maybe do a quick coherence technique and start to shift back into having an open heart? Could you practice some forgiveness for yourself and others? Where's your heart? Could you reach out and connect to someone who maybe you've been waiting to call you or connect with you because they should, because you haven't heard from them in a long time? Communication is a two-way street though. So if there's someone you're like, I sure wish they would call me, why don't they ever call me? Call them. Be proactive. Take responsibility. And then we look at our soul. How have you been caretaking your soul, your spirit? Have you meditated? Could you take some time now to meditate? Have you been taking time to find peace and ease and calm within yourself in these last few days? Or have you been letting that busy script weigh down your energy? And the physical body. Have you been exercising? Have you been eating well? This is on your checklist as well. Next, we want to look at our purpose and meaning. So this is that roof to our happiness. Each day of your life, are you doing something purposeful, something that brings meaning and joy to your own experience? Or have you had a bunch of days in a row of just mindlessly going through or getting through life? Could you bring some purpose into your experience today and some meaning? And it can be so simple. It could even combine multiple things that we've just talked about, like calling someone you haven't talked to in a long time and connecting. They would love to hear from you just as much as you would love to hear from them. And then finally, we want to look at who have we been spending our time with? And that can include TV shows, books, and other media. Who have you been spending your time with? Who's in your garden, in your home for happiness? Are you filled with nourishing relationships and input into your mind? Or are you around people who are very negative, toxic, who just drag you down? These are the things that you want to start being aware of in your overall experience, so that when you do have a particularly down day, you can kind of look at the whole picture instead of just thinking these thoughts, well, I'm a piece of crap, or my life sucks, or I'm failing everybody, or I'm failing myself, or I'm no good, or whatever other terribly harmful thoughts you're thinking to yourself. You can go through this checklist and see what's actually going on in my life right now that's contributing to this feeling of contraction, and give it its voice. And remember, we've talked about nature's guidance system now multiple times. So feeling your feelings, honoring yourself where you're at is vital to the process, and then making a conscious choice to use the tools of expansion to bring you back into feeling better. And knowing that this is a cycle that we sometimes have to repeat many times a day, or a week, or a month, or over the year. Sometimes this cycle of expansion and contraction can happen in just seconds. We stub our toe think to ourselves how stupid and clumsy we are, and then experience the pain of the stubbed toe. And then in a moment, we can go, oh, big contraction, let me feel what I'm feeling. That was just an accident, self-forgiveness. And the sensation passes, and we can choose to do something, think something, say something, practice something that supports us and brings us back into full expansion. It's all a cycle. It's all a choice. And it all starts with your own awareness. And what I want you to be most aware of today is how much you matter. I'm Tamara Zoner, and I will see you again tomorrow when we pull a truth bomb just for you. Bye.